Algebra 2, Worksheet 31.2, number 20 on the back. We're asked to write the equation in graphing form. We have to sketch the graph and identify the pertinent information. Looking at this, when we see on number 20, it has a center, it has a major axis, it has vertices. Most likely, it sounds like it's going to be an ellipse. So if we look at the squared terms, x squared and y squared, they're different numbers, but they're the same sign. 3 and 12 are different values, but they're both positive. That tells me it's going to be an ellipse. Number 19, if you're looking at 19, the x squared terms, there's one positive, one negative. That's going to be a hyperbola. Here I've got an ellipse then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first start by just rearranging the x's together. 3x squared minus 6x, and then the y's, 12y squared minus 24y plus 3 equals 0. And then I'm going to take this number in front of the x squared out. When I factor that out, that becomes minus 2x. I'm taking the 3, factoring it out of negative 6. 3 times negative 2 gives me negative 6. Then I'm going to complete the square with what's in here. Same thing with the y's. I'm going to take that 12 out, becomes y squared minus 2y. Complete the square with that, equals. Then I'm going to take this 3 and move it over with a 0. Subtract 3 from both sides, becomes negative 3. Now, in addition to the negative 3, I have this blank here from the x's, the blank from the y's. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3 blank. This 3 blank would be matching this 3 blank. And then I'm going to add 12 blank, which will match this one. Now to complete the square, remember I'm taking half of this and squaring it, which gives me a 1. And they're both going to be 1s, which means these are both going to be 1s. And now if I've done this correctly, this should factor where it's something squared. Square root of x squared is x, square root of 1 is 1, the sign in the middle is minus, so that'll be x minus 1 squared. Plus 12, same thing here, it's actually exactly the same, just a y instead of x, so that'll be y minus 1 squared equals. Then I have to work all this out and combine everything. Now this 3 times 1 is 3, which will cancel with negative 3, so all I'm left with is that 12. Now I'm going to take everything and divide it by this 12. When we have the ellipse, or hyperbola, we want the 1 on the right side. So this will give me a 1 here, and the 12 is the 1. 3 and 12 cancel, which means under x minus 1 squared, 3 into 12 goes 4 times. Here both 12's cancel, so I'm left with y minus 1 squared over 1. The addition is in the middle. So there's my equation in graphing form. My center will be the opposite of these coordinates. The x coordinate will be positive 1, y coordinate also positive 1. 1 and 1, there's my center. The length of the major axis comes from which of these is larger. The 4 is larger. Now 4 under the x means I'm going to move the square root of that. Square root of 4 is 2 spaces. So left and right, I'm going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. Then for the y value, I'm going to go square root of 1 is 1, just up and down 1. So it's a really small, kind of skinny ellipse here. Again, the major axis would be this distance from the left all the way over to the right. This is the major axis is the longer one, the vertices that are farther away. There's 2 spaces here. 2 spaces there, total of 4 spaces for the length of the major axis. And then the vertices are the coordinates of these farther endpoints. Negative 1, 1 will be one of them. And then positive 1, 2, 3, positive 1 is the other vertex.